Hey, it's Eli. Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking Underwound pickups. Underwound pickups are something that I've been enjoying quite a bit in recent years. And I think for clean tones, you get a clarity and a dynamic range that you just simply won't get with higher output pickups. That said, if you want to put a bit of gain behind them, they can present some challenges. So let's have a look at what underwound pickups are really good for and how we can make them work with a little bit of gain as well. So I'm just going to focus on this Telecaster bridge pickup that I have here today. And an underwound pickup like this one just means that it has less whines than a standard pickup. That has a few impacts. Firstly, it's a lower output, it's a weaker pickup, but it also has some tonal and dynamic range impacts as well. A underwound pickup typically has a very wide dynamic range. And what that means is that it has a lot of transient information. It doesn't typically compress a lot. It also has a high resonant peak in the pickup. So if I play just a clean sound here, you get this very vibrant, chimey top end. And that resonant peak, typically in low output pickups like this, is quite sharp and quite prominent. So in this pickup, that resonant peak is sitting at around 6K. And I can just boost it on an EQ so you can hear it a little bit more. So here's clean. So you get the idea. It has this richness in the top end, doesn't compress, so it's wide open. And that's really great for clean sounds. But there is a challenge that you face when you start putting some gain on these types of pickups. And that is, it already has a lot of high information. And when you add gain, you add harmonics. So it gets very brittle and ice picky in the top. So if I just add some gain to this pickup here, it's a cool sound, but it's quite ice picky and the rest of the band's not going to be particularly happy about that tone. So what are some approaches to get a good medium gain tone with low output or underwound pickups? I think there's a few strategies that you can take. And one of them is to add a compressor before your gain stage. And that will just add some additional sustain to the sound. So again, clean sound. So it's a little thicker sounding. It's still pretty bright and trashy in the top end. So the next thing I would do is a little counterintuitive actually, and that is to dial the volume on the guitar back. You would think that being a low output pickup, the last thing you would want to do is turn it down, but in fact, turning the volume down on your guitar typically will reduce that resonant peak. So it's going to smooth out that chiminess in the pickup. So again, starting with the clean tone, and then I'll dial it back a touch. And then I'll add the compression and the gain. So that's sounding quite a bit warmer in the top end. I might dial the tone back on the guitar a touch as well, just to smooth it out even further. And then finally, I think in this instance, a speaker change might be a good way to go. So we're currently running through a Celestion Blue, which typically has a lot of breakup in the top end. And so you're sort of putting chime on chime. So if I switch across to, let's go the Celestion V-Type. This speaker is a ceramic speaker, so it doesn't break up in the top end the way that a Celestion Blue would. And it also has quite a bit more bottom end, so it should fatten up this quite weak sounding pickup as well. Let's try that.